It's been nearly a decade since an unemployed Roy Choi took to the streets of Los Angeles in his mobile taco truck. Back then, what seemed like a cheap alternative has become a billion-dollar industry. As a consumer, is the food sold on the mobile trucks really safe? To shed some more light on this, we have in our studio Mr. JimChan. He is a frequent guest on our show. Please join me in welcoming him to the show. Thank you once again for
Molly.
coming back.
Thanks for the invitation.
All right. So please tell us, this food truck business has become very, very popular. We see them just about everywhere.
Right, yeah.
And even the big players like McDonald's and Swiss Chalet and all are in the game now.
Yeah.
How safe is the food?
Yeah. See, food trucks, lots of people think that, it's a mobile restaurant. It is a mobile restaurant because they don't just deliver or cater food. They actually prepare, cook, lots of processing going on in the truck. So it's all depending on the operators. Okay. Like restaurant, for example, if you have a careless operator, you have food that might be risky to the public.
Okay.
Food truck, one thing about food truck is that because it's on wheels, it's not hooked up to water or electricity. So the very important thing that they have to be inspected. Okay. Local public health inspector usually inspect food truck in their own jurisdiction, or they also have to get licensed too. When they get licensed, they get inspected. Health inspector always look for similar thing they're looking for in a restaurant. Okay, do you have water, running water for hand washing, for utensil washing? Do they have power to like generator or power or can generate power so the refrigerator or the freezer can be working all the time when the food truck is running, and the storage of food, and in the summertime, it's hot. Imagine it's so hot in the kitchen in a food truck, so they have to have workable refrigerator and freezer. So those are the frequent area that the inspector will check, and they would test the temperature, and they would actually try to run the water. In the wintertime, a lot of the food truck fail the inspection because first they didn't put enough water in, so water got frozen. And once you don't have water in a food truck, the inspector can actually shut it down.
Okay.
So the other tips for the consumer is that at least in Toronto, after the food truck being inspected, inspector will issue the sign, either green sign, yellow sign, or the red sign, the dine safe inspection sign, and they have to post it. If you don't see a food truck actually carry one of the inspection sign, there's a chance that they haven't been inspected, or they might have failed an inspection. They're not posting the sign.
Okay.
So things like that, the public should really report those incidents to the health department and let them follow up with an inspection.
All right, so there you go. Always look for this green sign. If you see this, and it should be displayed in a visible,
way,
location. And if you don't have that sign that we look for in any restaurant, then as Mr. Chan said, chances are they have not been inspected, or they have had a bad report and they don't want you to see.
The sign.
They don't want you to know.
That's right.
Right? That they have a red sign.
Oh, for sure they will be, either hiding it. They're not supposed to, or they got a yellow sign. They're supposed to be posted. So the last thing, just a tip for the public is that food poisoning. So very often that when people get sick, they say, wow, did I eat in a restaurant or whatever? Whenever anyone fell sick after maybe eating from a food truck, a food cart, or even from a restaurant, the best thing to do, first thing, if you're very sick, go see a doctor or go to a hospital. After that, make sure they report to your local public health inspector, because they would always do a follow-up inspection and investigation.
All right. So if you live in Toronto, so we'll put the Toronto Public Health number at the bottom. So, but if you are outside of Toronto, every city has its own public health department. And all you have to do is just Google it, right? So that's how we, the public, can become partners with the city for our own safety,
Yeah.
right? Because the cities are doing a good job in trying to make sure that the food is safe and the public is safe, but every so often, you know, if there is a
goes wrong,
situation that is
Yeah.
happening, then it is imperative that we, the public, become partners and let
right.
them know. And it's not because we're trying to cause trouble for
No,
anyone,
yeah,
right? We're not trying to drive
Yeah.
anybody out of business. All that the inspectors will do then is to go and make sure that they follow
Yeah. Let them
the right.
follow up and do an investigation. on
Right,
it.
because food poisoning is not something that anyone should
That's
take
right, yeah.
lightly.
And it
because
can be very dangerous.
it can be
too.
very dangerous. All right, so go out. Summer is almost
Oh
here.
yeah, food truck
Yes,
season.
food trucks are all over the place.
Yeah.
Enjoy the food. Part
Yeah.
of enjoying life
That's
is to be
right.
able to go out
Yeah.
with friends and family and enjoy good food.
Yeah,
And
that's
one of the
correct.
things that these food trucks offer is a different type
That's
of
right, yeah,
cuisine.
yeah,
Go try that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, make sure you're safe and that your family is also safe. Thank you so much once again for coming.
Thank
I
you.
know you're retired,
Yes.
but you know what? So amazing. Mr. Chan used to work for the Toronto Public Health.
That's correct. Yeah,
Right.
36 years. Yes.
36 years. And he's passionate about keeping all of us safe. Thank you for being here.
Thank you again.
You don't go anywhere. We have
Okay.
lots more for you.